Candace Owens has had enough. She absolutely obliterates LGBT culture and its hypocrisy. You guys are not going to want to miss this.
The Department of Correction reveals that over 50% of male inmates identifying as transgender females in Wisconsin prisons have been convicted of at least one count of sexual assault or sexual abuse. Out of 161 transgender identifying male inmates, 81 of them have been convicted of such offenses, including crimes like sexual exploitation of child, rape, and sexual intercourse without consent. The Oversight Project at the Heritage Foundation obtained these records, and Director Mike Howell emphasized that men belong with men and men only in prison. He argued that housing sex offender men who claim to be women with female inmates is concerning and contributes to perceived moral decline. What do you have to say about this story?
I mean, least surprising story ever. I've been talking about this, and there's a two-prong approach here. First and foremost, the advantage of a man: you commit a crime, you commit a sex crime, you molest a child, and you know how they treat pedophiles in prison, you know how they treat sexual deviants in prison. So you just say, actually, no, I'm transgendered. That's what's actually happening. Please put me amongst the women inmates who now need to accept. And the fact that the prisons are doing this, they're acknowledging them and affirming them, and that taxpayers are having to bear the expense. I can't even talk about how much that infuriates me. But the second element of this is that there is what's not being spoken about, well, it's definitely being spoken about on my podcast, is the growing alphabet mafia, and how they are now adding letters that really just imply sexual deviancy. You know what I mean? Like a man feeling the need to put on panties, a woman's underwear, and you're pretending that that's like a gender or an identity. Perfect example, Sam Brinton, the nuclear energy White House person, who literally was open about the fact that he was a sexual deviant. I mean, wearing heels, lipsticks, into pup play, which if you look into what pup play actually is, you will be shocked at how disgusting it is. You know, on a leash, and still got the job. You know, you used to be fearful that if they Googled you and you'd find this stuff online, your employer, you couldn't get hired. This guy got right.
Oh, this guy.
That used to be that used to be a disqualifier if you could find somebody naked and in straps and to pup play. Sam Brinton just outwardly, I am a freak and flying my freak high, gets the job at the White House.
Job?
He was
head of nuclear waste in the energy department.
I gotta go.
No, I promise you. I promise you. And then guess what happened?
He's a klepto.
He got arrested three times for stealing women's panties at freaking airports.
That guy?
Yes. And
not just one pair, a whole suitcase full.
I'm calling BS. A guy like that would never do something like this, Candace. What are you talking about?
What are you supposed to be surprised?
I am shocked
told you
right
I'm a freak, and then I did some freaky things, right? And that's what's happening right now in this climate of non-binary. I'm a man, but I want to wear women's underwear and be free. They're telling you that something is wrong, right? They are saying, I am flying my freak flag high, and then we're all supposed to be shocked when they do something that's sexually deviant. And that it's mind-boggling to me. It's why it is an issue that I care passionately about. I am a mother to young children. Why does a drag queen want access to a child? Can anybody answer that big question? Okay, you're a man and you like to dress up as a woman and go to nightclubs, okay? Flying your free flag high. Now you're demanding access to read books to children. Does that not just, does it pass the sniff test, guys?
Maybe I'm a bigot for saying this, but I do not think anyone who is LGBTQ drag queen should not be telling story times to children. There's a reason they don't go to the nursing homes and talk to the elderly. It's they choose the youngest, most innocent minds out there. The youth will shape the future. They have the most malleable minds. And if they can convince the kids that this is normal and this is the way things should be, then society and culture will shift as a whole and it will never come back to the way it was. I feel like myself and America as a whole is very accepting. You can do whatever the heck you want. As long as it doesn't harm anybody else and you're above the age of 18, go right ahead. When you try and indoctrinate our kids, that's where I have a massive issue, and that is where I will take a stand.
Want to do the sniff test with this one.
You know what's really interesting?
We're here. We're queer. We're coming for your children. You've heard this before.
Yes.
Let's all say it in unison, guys, right? I mean, it's scary.
And here's my thing. Like, for instance, like you know, everybody here has freaking gay friends. I have gay family members. When it comes to like the Pride Month and everything, it's like, because you're talking about the sexuality of it. It's like, when is it ever cool? Name another month or a day or a moment where it's cool for any group to walk outside butt naked, G-string. And I get that there's like people are bringing their kids, which I think they should, go to jail. But when is it ever cool for you to be on a bike butt naked? Yeah, how is that?
Literally, if I said, "Hey guys, tomorrow's family day.
Okay,
we're gonna have a family parade and we're gonna celebrate families." No person is showing up butt naked, right? It's no family showing. So
you don't know
there's
Tom.
something
Tom
about
goes crazy.
get naked, get on a bicycle. The men that were on bicycles, literally naked, right? But for some reason, when you say it's an LGBTQ pride parade, you're going to see nudity. What does that tell you? And people are fearful to talk about this, and it's crazy to me as a parent that we've allowed this to go so far. That we've allowed sexual deviancy to be perceived as an identity, as something that needs to be treated and loved. And who are the people behind saying we have women? It's always women.
Why do women not see the ridiculousness? And why aren't the women speaking out more about trans men in sports? Like, why don't?
Well, because those
aren't.
Those are feminists. Those are the Chelsea handlers, right? And so that's a whole different simulation. It's the moms at home are not the ones that are pushing that.
What percentage of women under 30, best guess, do you think fall into that type of ideology?
Like feminist?
Yeah. Like they love Chelsea Handler. They're cool with this. They're cool with men being in sports.
Difference if you're talking like early 20s versus end of 20s.
I'm saying Gen Z. Let's talk about that. 25 and under. That's the future. Mm-hmm. This is who we're trying to convince not to go down this path.
You want a percentage?
That's what I'm getting. Well, I know that you've highlighted that 20% of Gen Z identifies LGBT.
Look, here's a mayor in Burbank. He's an Armenian mayor, okay, this guy. In the classroom, he's having this guy spank him. Check this out.
Most black coffee has 2 ingredients you want, water and coffee beans. But they also have over 400 that you really don't, like
the Burbank?
This is the Burbank mayor.
The music might be.
That's the Burbank mayor that's doing this.
Pride, proud, love is love.
I mean,
she's a strong warrior.
And he's like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with some of the craziest tweets came out about this guy, which is absolutely wild when you see the GUSD folks posted his tweets.
Oh, my God.
Constantine Anthony out of Burbank doing this. By the way, here's Oklahoma elementary school faces calls for firing a drag queen principal. The principal in Oklahoma is a drag queen. Can you please pull this picture for us? Pull this picture up for us to see it. So calls to fire drag queen principal Shane Mernon, also known as Chantel Mandalay.
Yeah, moonlights as a drag queen,
which is scary.
Then also previously was arrested on child porn.
20 years ago.
And basically got away with it because of a technicality. I looked into this case. Technicality because they found what was clear to one judge and another judge was child porn, but then when they brought the trial forth, they couldn't identify the child. And so basically they were like, you can't prove this is actually a child, right? So they had to drop, I swear, because you have to be able to prove. So if I say that this is a child, even if it's abundantly clear to all of us this is a child, you have to be able to prove that, right? So it was clear enough that they arrested him. It was clear enough that a judge said this arrest holds, and then another judge said, you actually have to be able to say who that child, like we have to be able to say that person is actually a minor. And they weren't able to do this. So the charges got dropped on a technicality, right? So he gets this expunged from his record, and then he somehow gets voted in a private ceremony. They came together, no parents were there, and they made him principal 20 years later. Arrested for child porn charges. Yeah.
What city in Oklahoma? Because if this goes down
in front of children.
If this goes down in LA, San Francisco,
and moonlights a drag queen.
Oklahoma.
And Rob, can you show the photo? Could we just all be completely honest? And all the viewers out there, look how scary drag queens are. Like some people have like a clown phobia. Look how scary that guy is right there. Yeah. Look. Zoom in on the guy on the right. What that looks like the penguin from Batman.
Worse pictures, by the way.
But they're scary. Like it's scary. You're not
somebody who was arrested for child pornography, demanding access to elementary school children,
and they're cool with it. And they're cool.
I don't think anymore because the story got exposed. And not Oklahoma. If you don't know if you know this, is actually the reddest state in the union.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
West Virginia, Oklahoma, Alabama,
Oklahoma's
those three.
number one. The most.
I'm sick of the Democratic narrative that you are a homophobe or you are a sexist or you're just a nasty person for not allowing these people to do these acts. This should not be a Democratic versus Republican issue. Our children are the most important things in society today. And if we allow these sexual deviants to talk to our kids, to teach our kids about what they are doing, then they're only poisoning the minds of the youth. What you do in the privacy of your bedroom is your own business. You can do whatever the heck you want. Just please, don't actively push this on the next generation. And I mean, in this instance right here, this man is a principal overlooking countless children. He was caught with the most heinous of crimes possible, and we allow this person near our children? This is blasphemous. It just seems the Democratic Party wants our population to diminish year after year. Because, I mean, look at all the things they promote. You want to do these things to yourself? No one's going to stop you. But the moment that you target the kids, I think that's when most of America is going to wake up and not stand for this anymore. Because they are the most vulnerable, and that's why they're getting targeted. 30 years ago, if this was happening, 99% of us would all be on the same page. There has been so much propaganda and media manipulation that this has become a controversial take. It is absolutely insane. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think that trans story time should exist? Is that very accepting? Or do you think it should stop entirely? Let me know. I'd love to know your opinions on that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.